Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Copilot for August 2025. If you want updates during the month, you can follow on the socials, so Twitter, LinkedIn. Just do a search for @SuperSimpleThree65. This month we've got updates for Copilot, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint, Teams, and a couple from around Microsoft 365. We only cover the highlights on the video. If you want even more information, go and have a look in the video notes. Go and have a look at the blog, and you'll see there's a roundup there, and it's got all the stuff I'm talking about now and even more. Just a quick shout out. If you would like to just support the work that I do to keep people up to date and yourself, you can become an Update Insider, as well as just helping out with some of the costs associated with doing these updates. You get early access to the monthly blog, that thing I just showed you. You can see it over the month as we build it up. But also, as I write up each major update, I'll get that email to you and it will come straight to your inbox, so you don't have to worry about following. I will send those big updates to you. So go have a look at the notes. It's only £5 a month, and it really helps just cover the cost and the time for the updates. Anyway, I hate that bit. Let's get a move on. Let's talk about Copilot. You might have already noticed that ChatGPT is now available in Microsoft 365. When you go to the top right-hand corner, you might see this option here, Try GPT-5. Did I call it ChatGPT-5? I keep doing that. GPT-5. So ChatGPT, done it again. GPT-5 is available. So if you just click on there, you can see that it tells you that it's on. So its real-time router will divert your quick comments to the high output model. And if you're asking for more, it knows to send it off to the deeper reasoning model. I think that's a good use of resources. There's no point the same thing doing everything. If it's just a quick question, it can just knock that out. What about researcher? So the quick route that I spoke about initially, that's like the quickest one. Then you've got the deeper reasoning, and Microsoft say that the researcher still got a place. It will go even further. So the researcher app has still got a place, but this creates almost like a 3-tier option now, doesn't it? So availability is available now for license holders with priority access. So the priority access comes with the license, the M365 Copilot license. When you have Copilot Chat at work, so the free version, you've got access to it, but you've got standard access. So you might occasionally see a message telling you that this service isn't available, because when it gets busy, the people who use the free service won't get some of the higher end features. Copilot Studio, if you're in an early release environment, that's available to you now. Otherwise, it will be coming soon. A new way to include email in Copilot chat prompts. So do /. You can see here that you've got the option to add your emails, and you've got the email filter. Actually, I think I showed someone this just this afternoon. So that's available now. So you can now include email in your chat prompts. You can search for them, and then you can filter by them as well. That's interesting. Look at that tools icon. I don't have that yet, but that is coming soon. Okay, unlicensed users get access to Copilot Create. So we're just talking about here. Look on the left-hand side, this Create agent, and you can see that we're looking at the free version of Copilot. So we've opened Create here, and Create really is good. So let's just zoom in, have a look at some of the options. So here you can create an infographic, a poster, you can documents. So the Copilot Create actually really is a really nice tool. There are some restrictions, and we'll look at those in a moment. The service level is standard. So again, if you don't have a Copilot license and using this functionality, you may occasionally be told that the service is not available, and that's due from mid-August. So you should be seeing that now. Let's have a quick look at the comparison. So on the left-hand side, this is my M365 Copilot. On the right is the free version. So what's different? So the option to create a video isn't in the free version. Let me just pull this over. You can see here. So on the left-hand side, we've got forms, banners, forms and banners, and also the brand template stuff down there. So there's a few things that are missing. But actually, you know what? For the if you're using the free version of Copilot Works or Copilot Chat, it's another addition that you're getting. I feel like every month now I'm telling the free version users that you're getting more and more. So I think that's a real win for the people with the free version. Unified conversations, streamlined chat history view. So instead of having the chat history in two places, look at this. At the top here, we've merged all conversations into a single list. You access both work and chat in that one place. You can see here that it shows your latest, but you click on all conversations if you want to. Then when you click on it, it just if you were looking at you grounded in work or you grounded on the internet, when you click on the history, it will go to that grounding, whichever one you chose. Due mid to late August, but have that already. You should have that now. New filtering options in Microsoft Copilot to refine chat history. So we're looking at our chat history, which is super useful. If you haven't checked this out, if ever you think, I can't remember what I said on that prompt, it's a really good prompt, and I didn't save it, just go and have a look at your history. Go on all history I showed you on the previous slide. Anyway, we're getting some new filters for that. You can see the filters at the top there, so all, and then agents or pages. Just maybe not a big change, but it's definitely worth highlighting the history to you, because when you click on the history, not only do you see the prompt, you see everything that was said as well. You can tell I'm rushing a little bit, folks. There's a lot to talk about this month, so if I'm speaking a bit quickly, I do apologise. Remember that you can go and look at the blog as well, folks. That one is due to early August, so anytime now. Build and analyze surveys with the surveys agent in M365 Copilot. So previously, you might go off the forms, Microsoft Forms, and then inside Microsoft Forms, then you would use Copilot. Whereas this is more just like using Copilot and then pushing your form into your result into Microsoft Forms. Okay, so it's going to help you draft surveys, refine your questions that you've got. So you can see on the screen here, it's clearly working in Microsoft Forms. Send invitations and reminders, track progress, and analyze results. There's a bit more to it than that, actually. So maybe if that is of interest to you, go and have a look at the blog post. But I think I said to somebody, someone who doesn't use forms, who might come to you and say, "Can you do this form for me?" This is that new person. That is the person you, instead of going to someone and saying, "Can you do this form for me in Forms?" Copilot will do that for you now and recommend the way that you send invitations, refine your questions, and get the whole thing set up. Folks, due anytime now. The Copilot Researcher Agent gets source controls. So the Researcher Agents, just talking to people today about the Researcher Agent, and just how useful it is. People on the call gave loads of examples of how they're using it, and they're blown away by it. I'm not going to talk about this example. I can't tell you what it is. I just can't. But anyway, the person said it probably saved weeks of research, having to manually go to. It's like thousands and thousands of sources that you'd have to go to, and she said it was just incredible, and lots of examples as well. Anyway, how about we narrow it down a little bit? So we're going into Researcher, and we've got the option for sources. Let's just expand that. So web, work, meeting chats, emails, and you can search for resources there. You can just about make out SharePoint there as well. So imagine being able to use the power of Researcher, but really focus it on I don't know, maybe just like a SharePoint site or just SharePoint. Late August to mid-September. So folks, if you're watching this now, this is due anytime now. So go, if you're a Researcher user, go and check that out. I think that's going to be brilliant. Okay, some quick ones for Copilot. The Microsoft Copilot Chat prompt box is getting a new tools feature. So I'll comment on this, get a bit of FOMO on this. I don't have it yet, but it's meant to be here now. So late August. So I'm not sure whether there's a later date than that, actually, because I don't have it, and I checked just before this session. Anyway, look at that, Researcher, Analyst, Designer, that's all in there, and it's right inside that that chat box. Due anytime now by the looks of that. Real-time voice conversations coming to M365 Copilot, now due from early September. Imagine just being able to talk to Copilot. So we use the icon, we trigger it, we've got microphone and headphones, and you can sit there and talk to Copilot, interrupt it when you need to. Super useful. But what about from an accessibility point of view, and not needing to type or access it and or read? So I just think it's brilliant. So you've been able to just talk to it. So if I'm using a screen reader or super magnified, I can trigger this. In fact, there's another thing coming, isn't there? There's the Hey Copilot to trigger this off. So it might be completely just voice. Anyway, from just a convenience point of view and from an accessibility point of view, I think this is going to be fab. Due anytime now. Communication memory in Copilot enhanced. Personalization across Copilot. I'm going to have to read this, folks. Let me just refer over here. So I'm just going to look over this for a second. So Microsoft say communication memory will improve how you interact across M365 apps. This AI-powered feature will analyze and summarize your digital communications, such as emails, chats, and meeting transcripts to create a live memory of key highlights. As a result, Copilot will deliver responses that are more personalized and context-aware, helping you work more effectively across platforms like Outlook, Teams, and others. So, it looks marvelous. There's a bit more to be said. Okay, so communication memory in Copilot. So maybe when that comes out, we'll revisit it because I've read the description, and I clearly don't understand all of it. That's why I've gone over it and had to read it. But when it comes out, maybe we'll revisit it. We'll see. Copilot Chat session persistence enhancement. So you can see here from this icon. This is from the 365 roadmap, so it's further out. It just means that you can move away from a conversation you have in Copilot, and then just drop straight back into it. Now, I don't know how this is going to work. Will this surface as part of your conversation history, and you just carry on like you were there? Although, I don't know. Anyway, so the like I say, it's 365 roadmap, so it's kind of sketchy on details, but it just means you can just drop straight back into where you were and carry on as if you'd never stepped away. Let's have a look what's happening in OneDrive. Just a quick one. The ability to sync. So I've gone to a SharePoint site and I've said I want to sync. So it's being almost not deprecated but demoted. So the sync option, which causes lots of problems at work, it's going to be hidden underneath the overflow menu, and they're kind of promoting it as a shortcut option instead. That's good. Due anytime now. Let's see what's going on in Outlook. Copilot brings immersive search to Copilot. It's another one that I've kind of read, and I'm not sure that I see the value of it. I'm looking at it and it just looks like kind of search, but it's in Outlook and it's not just for your emails. But when it comes out, it'd be interesting to see how useful this is. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we're going to do a search at the top, and then you can see here, I apologize for the screenshot. Search with Copilot comes up and it jumps over to the right hand side. Summaries include all content supported by Copilot, so emails, Teams messages, attachments, shared files. So a bit like I don't really know if this is an Outlook feature or it's just search is appearing in Outlook. But we'll see. It sounds like the latter, doesn't it? Maybe I'm missing something. Folks, we'll find out late September. Outlook and Teams get a smarter scheduling experience with Copilot. So refresh user interface, some Copilot capabilities, and just like a new layout. Let's go and have a look at it. So mid-September to mid-November, but let's go and compare. So the old one is on the left-hand side. You can see it's example old meeting or example meeting here. So first thing that jumps out at me, I've got to say, is on the left-hand side, it's super clear the date and the time. I find it's less clear in the new version. I don't mean to be a bit kind of negative about it, but it doesn't seem as clear to me. What else have we got in here? So automatically schedule with Copilot. Be interested to see how good it is at that. On the old version, we have the option to enter files here, but actually we can draft the meeting invite and all the content in there with Copilot. So you could probably base it on some files as well, and really make it clear about what the meeting's about. The other thing that jumped out at me as well is, and I'm not sure. So a make recurring. It really jumps out to me. I'm not sure where it is over here. I'm not sure how to make this a recurring meeting. We'll see. I'm sure it's just a click away, or maybe it's just not on the screenshot. Anyway, that change is on its way. Some quick ones for Outlook. Outlook for iOS and Android. The send button is getting relocated, so it's getting moved from the bottom up to the top. and some of those conversation actions get moved from the top down to the bottom. And you see here, here's the new pane. If you click on the three little dots, you can customize this. It's good actually. You can choose all sorts of stuff to put into here, and you can customize it. What you can't do is put it back to the top, or certainly I can't find a way. On a call last week, someone said they've got this on their work phone and they hate it. And I wanted to be able to put this back to the top, but they couldn't find a way, and I couldn't see a way either. If you know a way, put it in the comments. Retirement of web-based shared Teams experience. So in Outlook, you can, if you got like an email, you can share that to you can share that to Microsoft Teams, push it into a channel or a chat. If you don't have Teams installed and you only use the browser version of Teams, then this is getting deprecated for you. So this is for people who use Teams in the browser, and the ability to share to Teams in Outlook is going away. And they say, you might be aware that we've seen more of this no entry sign. My generic, we're losing something or something stopping. We've seen a lot of those in the last 6 months, more than the last couple of years. And they just call it out here. They say it's part of their goal of streamlining the sharing experience, but actually reducing maintenance overhead. And if you want to know why they need to reduce their maintenance overhead, here's an interesting thing for you to go and ask Copilot. Ask Copilot how long it takes Microsoft to make $1 billion in profit. And we're talking hours, right? So you could go do it yourself. I'm not going to tell you what the number is, but you'll see why they need to reduce their maintenance overhead and maybe get rid of even more staff, because they're struggling. Anyway, enough of my sarcasm. It's just a bit off the way they treat their staff. The most successful company in the world, and I don't know if you've heard about the layoffs, the way they treat their staff. It's bizarre. Anyway, enough of that. It's not what you're here for. Create and save email templates in the new Outlook for Windows. So being able to create templates that you're used to is come to the new version of Outlook. Folks, let's go and have a look at what's going over in SharePoint. So create SharePoint page sections with AI. So whole sections. So here we can either create a section or create it with AI, and then Copilot prompt pops up, and then so we can then just tell it what we want this section to be and what where the content should come from. It might be that you've got some documents or just some resources. So it's going to be interesting how useful this is. It's an interesting example there. It's simply in Copilot, change the background to an image of a mountain, and add a people web part. Look at that. Boom. There's a mountain in the background, and there's the people web part. So I'm looking forward to trying this, see how good it is. That change, just for that one sentence. But what it's like? It's really clever when I show a demo. Getting it to, if you're particular about what you want, Copilot's often a lot harder doing anything creative, isn't it? But we'll see. June, mid-August to mid-October, SharePoint introduces a new workflows experience. I told you last month about the new workflows, the revamped look and feel for workflows in Microsoft Teams. Well, that is coming to SharePoint. So you can see here, it's going to appear on the bar at the top called Workflows. The same experience that you get in Teams. So once you've got that piece of knowledge there, you've got that piece of knowledge over here. List and document libraries are going to have this Workflows button on the command bar. And someone said on, I don't know if it's Twitter or LinkedIn earlier today, and if it's you, forgive me, I can't remember your name, that it's going to be timed nicely for the deprecation of alerts. So it might be that this is a nice, workflows are kind of nice and friendly, and it's like, yeah, sure, it's Power Automate, but it's a nice friendly skin over it, isn't it? So those two are going to come at a similar time. Anyway, check that out. If you just zoom into that screen for a minute, you just see like some of the an idea of some of the things that it can do. Mid-October to mid-November, which actually gives people time to get used to workflows before the alerts go. Also, the automate button. I can't remember. I think it's called the automate button. the contents of that are going away and they're getting added to integrate. If you're interested, go and read the blog post that I've done. I think it's the automate icon that's going away, and its contents are going to appear in integrate. I should have remembered that. I apologise. Okay, so SharePoint gets a new AI link web part, agent link web part. So we're adding new web parts, and we've got this new one here called agent link. We open it up, we say what we want the agent to look like, and now we can select one of our agents. So imagine, I don't know, a real simple example. Imagine you created an agent for new starters in your company, and you've got a web page that is for new starters, and actually you got the agent here, you got the new starters agents, and then people click on that. And then on the right hand side, so while they're reading all the stuff about new starters, they can be talking to the agent, which maybe backs onto the SharePoint site. It's got everything to do with new starters in your company, and you can then discuss it and ask questions. You have some suggested questions there. I think it's going to really surface agents. Agents can be you create them and they're great, but you got to get them to people, right? People have to know. Be interested in using them, but I think this is going to really surface them. Super useful. That should be available to you now. I haven't checked, if I'm honest, but that should be available to you now. Some quick ones. SharePoint's new header and footer enhancements, now due mid-September. This has been knocking around for a while, right? The SharePoint web part for FAQs has been pushed back again to November. Looks really, really useful. Only the person creating it needs the license, but it's been pushed back again. And Microsoft hiring, the alerts feature has been pushed back a little bit. So the retirement of it, the turning it off for creating new alerts, has been pushed back to January next year. I've told you about this previously. That kind of makes sense. I can imagine there was a lot of pushback on this because alerts, it's a great feature. Maybe they're giving time for the workflows that I talked about a few minutes ago to settle in before they turn this off. Updated document library, user experience. Actually, I need to just refer over here. So Microsoft are updating the SharePoint document library experience to more closely align with the user experience in OneDrive. What's that going to look like? While making it easier than ever before to access the valuable functionality unique to document libraries. When you're working on a document library, we've brought custom views and filters front and center. There's some other stuff. Now, this is just an M365 roadmap topic, which means that maybe next month I'll have lots more detail for you. So looking forward to seeing how that looks. I've got to be honest, I'm a bit like, oh, please don't mess it up. Due November, so I think I'll be telling you about that in the next either next session or this session afterwards. Let's see what's happening in Teams. Private channels getting meetings and increased limits. So you can have as many channels as you need. So you got 1,000 channels per team, and you were limited the amount of private channels you had before, up to your total amount of private channels, up to your total amount of channels that you can have, up to 1,000. Any amount of those can be private channels now. Up to 5,000 members per private channel. That's a big increase, isn't it? And now you can have scheduled meetings inside those channels. That last one, I think, is going to make them really popular. And compliance policies for private channels are now going to become part of the team's main group policies. I've got to be honest, I don't really understand all the admin stuff behind the scenes and governance. I can talk up the gist of it, but that's a whole career path, isn't it? Looking at all that stuff behind the scenes. Anyway, that apparently is going to get a lot easier for those folk. Due late September to mid-December. Meeting search in Teams desktop. So right at the top here, so just in the search, you can start searching for a meeting, and then you can take action from in there as well. So super easy to find your meetings there rather than going to your calendar. And then like you can see the recaps, RSVP, change your RSVP maybe, get access to all the assets of the meeting. You can see you've got the new meetings pill, so you've got that new filter. So just making the search bar in Teams more useful around meetings, and that should be available to you now. I'm not sure who's going to use this. I told you we've talked about the revamp for workflows. And how about triggering them? So a new way to trigger a workflow in Teams just by using an emoji. So the exclamation mark or the or whatever. It doesn't need to. You can see here that it's when someone reacts to a message in chat, that's what triggers it. What triggers this. So when you're setting up your workflow, you can then configure it. It might be that the exclamation mark then just pushes something to a support function. Apparently, it's going to streamline collaboration, reduce manual follow-ups, and accelerate response times. Okay, that should be available to you now. Work with key query language in Microsoft Teams. This is actually quite good. So look at this. So we're in the bar at the top of Teams, and we're going to use our term, and then we're going to have it's the colon that triggers it. You can tell I'm not an SQL person, so I'm kind of tripping over myself. But look at this. Here's some examples. So make sure you use a colon. I found most useful the is. If you do the is, and then then it gives you the options for filtering your results by all the sorts of things that it can access. I haven't done a very good job of that. Go and have a play. Go and do. So make a note of that from, with, in, is, and there might be more. And if there are, please reply. I don't really know SQL. I don't know how many of the options they've put in. But make sure you put a little colon, and then you'll see the options actually rather good. Due early to mid-August, so it is available now. And when I was talking to a group about this, a couple of people said down there that some of them are kind of codey types, and this made loads of sense to them to build up these perfect searches. I'm not that person, but I do find the is quite useful. Go and try it. It's quite nice. Due early to mid-August, like I say, it's available now. Some quick ones for Teams. Customize your Microsoft Teams experience with the new accent colors, just personalizing it. So you can go into the settings. So we're talking about this sort of thing here. See, this is selected, so it changes color. If something's clickable, it changes color. You can see here this tick box is selected, so it changes color. So we selected pink here, and look, little underlines as well. So on a group I was talking to, someone said the organization might not allow it because of all the different colors. And then someone said, actually, from an accessibility point of view, rather than using full-on software or the full-on options, this would help them because it just shows them which are selected. So hopefully it gets turned on for everyone. Push back to November though. Prevent screen capture, another Teams Premium feature. Teams Premium, I always think about Teams Premium as one of the big selling points is the security around it. And confidentiality, and here's another one, just the ability to prevent the screen capture. October, collaborating with Microsoft Loop pages in Teams channels, just been able to add Loop pages as tabs across top and then live inside. I already have this in another environment where I've got early access and I actually use it on meetings, and it's really useful. The countdown timer, so you set it up, you see this block part here when you're setting it up, but once you've started, then all you see is there's a little bit at the top and the bar, really useful. But for the rest of us, for everyone else who's not an early release, late September to late October. The Files tab getting renamed and getting new capabilities. You might already see this in your group chats. You no longer have the Files tab, then you've got Shared, and it really is quite useful. So that's coming to channels as well. And you can see that you've got like all your recent stuff and your links. You've still got files. It still behaves the same, but it's going to get a lot more useful. That's been pushed back to October. Populate your core Teams apps into a new window. Push back to mid-November to early December. Do you ever find yourself in Teams and you click on something, you go into it, you check something, and you got to go back to where you were? How nice would it be to have like you have like your Teams and your chat, all your stuff in different windows, so you can just navigate between them? If you want to try this, if you're using the new calendar in Teams, right-click on the calendar, and then you can pop that into a new window. You can have it totally separate, so you can be checking your calendar stuff whilst working in Teams. You can already do it in the new calendar, but for the other apps, it should be here by the end of the year. It's a shame it's delayed. Really looking forward to it. What's going on around Microsoft 365? Copilot in Word getting a snapshot of recent comments and edits. So this is already out. So we've got the discussion and activity. So recent comments. Sometimes when people are commenting, you can get loads of them. Keeping track of it can be difficult. So make sure that you, next time you open a big Word document, and I showed someone this earlier, so it's here. Look at discussion and activity. Also you can filter it. You can change the time scale as well. That's available now. So when you go into a Word document, then you look at the summary at the top. Then make sure that you check out these new tabs up here. If you haven't checked out Insights, Insights will pull out any data or information that's in there, like numeral type stuff, and create some interesting insights. So go and check all of that out at the top of Word. Reference an external an Excel file when using Copilot to create PowerPoint slides. So it includes charts and tables from your Excel data, only one file at a time, and it must be in OneDrive. I'm looking at that thinking, maybe that's SharePoint as well. I haven't tested it, but it seems odd to me that it's in OneDrive. I don't know if that's a typo on my part or an omission in the original post, or maybe it's just OneDrive. Anyway, that's available for you to test by the end of September. Microsoft Edge getting AI-powered search history. So it's just your search history is just going to get easier to access. Interestingly, that it's going to run locally on your machine, and just try to make your search a bit better. So if your organization allows this, if you go into your settings in Edge, you can then turn on your AI-powered search history if you want to. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I'm not sure what's on this screen is a good example, because it's a screenshot provided by Microsoft, and maybe I'm doing it a disservice. But they've searched for dog, and it just seems that I don't know. That doesn't look very AI powered to me, because it's got dog in the word, right? I don't know. Let's see when it comes out. We'll have a look at it. So due by early September. I just checked before the session. I don't have it, but it'd be interesting to see if it is better than it looks. Okay, talking about looks, Clipchamp is getting an update. The hub's getting an update. So you might already see this banner at the top of your page, and you can have a sneak peek if you do. So the URLs for streaming Clipchamp are the same, but wow, that is very colourful, isn't it? So create a video, edit a video. All the functionality is the same. It's just meant to be easier to use, and it's very lively looking. Folks, you should have that experience by the end of September. Some quick ones before we wrap up. Microsoft Loop, user accessible recycle bin. Great. So you loop workspaces. So if you delete it by accident, you can get it back. That's not coming out until next year though. Microsoft Edge, grounding. This is interesting. Remember, this is 365 roadmap, so there's not a lot of detail. Ground your 365 Copilot chat in Edge for business in your open documents that live in OneDrive and SharePoint. So you can ground, so you can just open stuff, and then your chat can just refer to whatever you've got open. Looking forward to that. I'll tell you more about that over the next few months, no doubt. Due September. I don't think that's going to make September. I might end up telling you about it next month. Another thing that's going away, this has been announced a little while ago, isn't it? OneNote for Windows 10, end of support, becomes read-only on the 14th of October. That's not very far away, is it? 14th of October for OneNote for Windows 10 to go read-only. That's it, folks. How long has that taken? Just over 30 minutes. So remember, you don't have to wait till the end of the month. You can go and check out the website. Subscribe on Twitter. Twitter's one of the easiest. I know that some people aren't super keen on Twitter, but Twitter, the notifications are easy. It's just, the layout's very, very clean. LinkedIn, the layout's not quite as nice on there. The way the final link works isn't quite as nice. But whatever works for you. There's a few options there. Do a search for @SuperSimple365. Make sure you turn your notifications on, because that's how you'll get them. And I think that's it. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. If any of those caught your eye, you want to read more, go and have a look at the notes. It's got a link. It'll jump you over to the full blog and you can read all about it. And of course, that's got the latest dates as well. Folks, we're done. Thank you for watching.